consideration is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
Oh, it's not working this morning. Great. That's awesome. Hey, good morning, everybody.
Yay! You may do it. Yay!
Hey, my sound effects are sound fucked up. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm JJ. That's Deacon. We are your two dads. We meet here every morning to talk about the news, culture, pop culture, media, comic books, werewolves, transmissions.
No, sometimes transmissions.
Transmissions and other shit. Hey, we're glad you're here. Hang out for a little while.
If potty mouth, all of a sudden,
I know. So look right off the bat.
What is
I've been the thing that's been keeping me up at night is Tony. Tony tells me we're doing a bad job, and like I'm sweating bullets. Hey, good morning, Richter. I'm just sweating bullets, thinking like, what am I doing wrong with the show? What am I doing wrong? I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna add a song to the playlist.
Yeah.
For Tony tomorrow.
For Tony, is it going to be how is it kind of like an abusive relationship type song where like he wants the best for us, but also kind of wants to give us a black eye? Is it
No. You know what?
No.
No, stop. Nope. We're not going to play this record frequently as possible. We're going to add this to the playlist right now.
Oh, really?
So this is our song. So let's just move right into our music this morning, JJ.
All right.
No, that's not it. You've moved the stuff. So there's the song. So our song of the day was originally going to be one of my favorite songs from Hootie and the Blowfish. It is off their phenomenally debut album, their phenomenal debut album, Cracked Rear View, that came out in like 98, 97, 98. It had 3 number 1 singles on this album. It was certified platinum 21 times. And this song is the best song, and it was never even released to radio. It is the last song on the album. You would not know this song unless you listened to every bit of the album and heard this song, but it's called Goodbye by Hootie and the Blowfish. It is a very beautiful song. The lyrics are very deep. I've always loved this song. For 30 years, I've loved this song. I always thought it was their best song. Darius Rucker has always had a wonderful, wonderful voice.
Hey, he's not too bad looking either.
Our secret bonus song of the day that you heard the beginning of, and if you can name that tune, you'll have to look over JJ's head, and you see the QR code. Click there with your phone, and you will go to our Discord server, and you can go to Deke's playlist, and you will see the secret song that I left for our commenter Tony that criticized JJ and I yesterday. That keeps JJ up at night.
Fair criticism. I I have to agree with Tony. I'm siding with Tony against me.
Okay.
Oh,
whatever. I know that you're crazy, so that doesn't surprise me, sir.
Hold on just a second. Hey, T, can you talk for just a second?
Absolutely. So if you want to go over to our Discord server, there's lots of cool stuff over there, actually. But see the secret song, see the playlist. And I've been wanting to put the playlist in a Spotify playlist. I'm just lazy and haven't done it yet, if you're one of those Spotify people. Also on our Discord server,
years worth of songs to catch up on, too.
There's dad jokes. There's top secret government documents. There's optional occult sign up. Not occult.
If you want to be part of our cult.
Yeah, there's any cult.
Not
our
cult.
Cult. It's a cult.
It's a cult.
Cult information in there.
Yeah.
So
There's people out there that want to join a cult. They don't know how to get started.
We're trying to help. Yeah, that's all.
There you go.
All right, so let's talk about Donald Trump. Do you think, okay, so what I'm recommending, JJ, throw your title card back up again.
Yeah. Here you come.
What I'm recommending to you and anyone out there that is listening, because if you're watching our show, I care about you and I want you to succeed in this world. So I'm going to give you $1 million idea right now. Maybe not $1 million idea, but I'm going to give you $1,000 idea right now, JJ.
Okay. All right.
The picture of Donald Trump that they release, the mugshot, you need to put it on a shirt with a clever saying. Vote for Trump, anything, something clever, whatever little clever saying you can come up with, put that and his mugshot on a shirt.
I mean, like, it's going to be a race. You know that, right? Money. It's going to be a race because as soon as the mugshot comes out, I mean, everybody has this idea of mugshot t-shirt. And so it's going to be a race of who can have the most clever Donald Trump mugshot t-shirt.
Who has the best little, who has the most clever. So that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. And maybe you could put like at the bottom, like this political ad presented to you by Fulton County Department of Corrections.
No, you need to have something clever like
can't be too subtle.
You need to have something clever like "Kiss My Fanny" or something like that, because the chick's name's. You see, you got my joke.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have something like that.
RICO case. It's a RICO case with no charges of conspiracy. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty amazing. Actually, we got. Let's see. I have. Here you go. Trump's bond is set at $200,000 in the Georgia case, and he's been warned about social media threats. Yeah, Donald Trump is the only person in America that isn't allowed to have free speech.
I think he's already made his bond. Yeah, it's like posted, but he still has to turn himself in and whatnot and get booked. I guess.
Yeah, I believe he's gonna surrender on Thursday, and so we'll see what happens.
You know how I am, and I was not wanting Donald Trump to be the nominee.
Because you are not a Trump supporter.
I like Trump, but I'm not a supporter this time of Trump. I think that he needs to step aside and let somebody else. But because of this, I hope he gets the nomination.
Yeah,
I hope he gets the nomination for this. Absolutely. Well, I've changed because of this. Because
you're allowed to have different opinions.
It has made me change my opinion. That they have pissed me off enough to where I'm like, you cocksuckers, you've changed me.
They are doing everything they can to get Donald Trump nominated. Okay, so Trump and 18 other co-defendants in this case have been given until Friday by noon to appear at the Fulton County Jail for processing. President Trump said Monday evening on his social media platform that he intends to surrender to Georgia on Thursday. All right. That's how you dominate the news cycle, guys. Listen, Trump's no fool. You go in on Thursday, it's in the media on Thursday, it's in the media on Friday. You go in on Friday, it's on the media on Friday night, and it's lost. And so then if he goes in on Friday, Trump's in jail on Friday, but it goes into the quiet cycle where he doesn't get to dominate. If he does it on Thursday, it's going to be all day Friday, and it's going to dominate the entire weekend. This guy knows what he's doing. And he's going to raise so much money out of this.
Yeah.
Eastman is expected to surrender on Wednesday, according to a California judge overseeing his disbarment proceedings. And all the defendants' bond agreements include a provision that they shall perform no act to intimidate any person known to him or her to be a co-defendant or witness in the case or otherwise obstruct the administration of justice. Trump's bond agreement also includes no direct or indirect threat against co-defendants or witnesses. The above shall include, but are not limited to, posts on social media or reposts of posts made by another individual in the social media. I mean, I hope Trump just like goes for it and does it anyway, and then the judge acts against him, and then Trump can claim that his First Amendment rights have been constrained. He has the right to defend himself, and that includes in public. So. Trump just needs to get all of these cases bumped up to federal and bumped up to the Supreme Court as fast as possible. That's what he's going to do. That's the play. And this Georgia one is the most sticky one because it's a state case, and the state, basically the state has complete autonomy in all of this. So if Trump can get these charges pushed up to federal somehow, and so get it superseded by the federal government, then he has a chance of taking the case to Supreme Court. If it remains in Georgia, then it's whatever verdict and whatever appeals are in the state of Georgia, and the Republican Party there can't or won't do anything to pardon him or in any way whatsoever. I mean, it's really Trump versus the Democrats and the Republicans. That's what we're looking at, which makes him like the only good guy in the race because the Democrats are evil and the Republicans are weak and dumb. Okay, so that's your Trump $200,000 bond story. Let's see, we got some other stuff. Your other president visited Maui, so let's initially President Biden's comments on Maui floated around the vicinity of no comment because I'm on the beach and just getting my sun, so I don't have anything to say about Maui. But it's been, a week or two, and, Joe Biden has now gone out to Maui, and he had some really, really important things to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
Video clip of it here. Let me just, I think we all need to he's the president. So let's just have a listen to what he's got to say,
Yeah. Put your phone down.
Put your boots on.
It's out here. That's hot ground, man.
It's hot ground, man.
All right, Press, we're going to jump ahead to the next spot, okay, guys? Thank you.
All right, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the comedy stylings of Joe Biden making yuck jokes on the ground where hundreds of people have died. Or 100 people have died. Hundreds and hundreds of people are missing. Yeah.
Hundreds of people are still
hot
missing,
ground.
presumed dead.
Hot ground. Look, they're just children. They're just children. All right. Well, there you go. That's the president stuff. I don't know. You got anything else to say about that? Hot ground.
I don't know. Our president speaks so eloquently all the time.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Do you remember them used to make fun of George Bush and all these little, all the different stuff that George Bush used to say because he was dumb.
Yeah. He's a
Joe Biden.
George Biden.
Yeah, I know it's what I almost said. George Bush doesn't hold a candle to Joe Biden. Joe Biden makes George Bush looks like an MIT Mensa candidate.
Yeah,
that's just
true.
My personal opinion.
You know what? There was I've almost missed this one. There was another statement by the president. I
was wondering what
President Biden. Yeah, President Biden is well known for being a very empathic person. Able to connect with the common man on his various different levels. And he had this. He was given a little speech while he was in Maui, and he had this to say. Let's push the wrong button there. Here we go.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home.
Oh.
Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday. Mm-hmm. And lightning struck at home on a little lake. It's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond. And hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. Make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside.
All kidding aside. All kidding aside. Lightning struck the pond, almost burned his house down.
Thank you.
However,
for keeping him safe.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The fire department that responded to the incident said that Joe Biden is embellishing just a little bit. Not entirely true.
You think the son of a bitch used to be a bad Corn Pop was a bad dude?
Yeah.
You remember Corn Pop? He was a bad dude.
Let's see.
He's got goddamn dementia. He makes up shit. Like, I'm sure he probably used to be quick, or that shit has worked in the past when he was in his 20s or 30s, or even when he was in his 30s, probably when he was in his middle 30s and he was grooming his now wife Jill when she was about 15 years old. I'm sure he had a silver tongue, but not anymore. You don't have a silver tongue anymore, because honestly, as he looks like somebody that used to be able to talk their way out of anything, and now he can't because he's losing his brain, but he still thinks he can. That's exactly what he looks like.
He thinks he's still smarter than everybody in the room. Yes. He's never been smarter than everybody in the room. No. They caught him in 1988 lying and stealing speeches. And, like, he's been plagiarizing his entire career. He's never been the smartest guy in the room, but he thinks he is.
I posted a Robin Williams meme in our Discord channel a couple of weeks ago, or maybe like last week, and it was Robin Williams making fun of Joe Biden when Joe Biden was the vice president. And he was making fun of the exact same thing that we're talking about right now, is that Joe Biden is an imbecile and he can't freaking speak for shit. I don't remember where it is now. I was looking for it there. I could find it, but I can't find it anywhere.
Sleepy Joe. That's what you said. Didn't Robin Williams invent Sleepy Joe? You said something about that.
Anyway. Did you see this story about Rudy Giuliani? Rudy Giuliani says, let me pull it up here. I've got it pulled up because I put the wrong
You put the Reddit link in there. Boy, those people on Reddit, they are left.
Well, the Reddit link usually, it has the link to the story, but then it has their little left whine and crying at the top. So I don't see I don't care what they say. I get a link to the story. So this is going to the not left leaning at all Huffington Post. Sorry, I had something in my throat there. Rudy Giuliani says that he has
fair and balanced
fair and balanced.
Oh my God. You can't even say the first sentence without laughing.
Rudy Giuliani says he has scientific proof of election fraud to exonerate him. The former lawyer for Donald Trump turbocharged his baseless claims of vote rigging with an absolute doozy. That's the fucking headline.
Baseless?
That's the headline and the sub-headline. So Rudy Giuliani on Sunday, he has new scientific evidence that the 2020 election fraud actually happened and that he intends to use it to prove his innocence in the Georgia criminal case against him. There are things we didn't present then in 2020 because over the next couple of years, a lot of people did a lot of work and have been able to produce more witnesses of what I would call scientific evidence that is very persuasive, said Giuliani, ex-President Donald Trump's former lawyer who was indicted last week for alleged conspiracy with Donald Trump and other allies to blah, 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 by Fannie in Georgia. Giuliani, who intends to have the case moved to federal court, said the scientific evidence would establish that he had good reason to allege the election was fixed and to pursue action. Giuliani's eye-rolling declaration. You see that, kids? Do you see that?
Eye-rolling?
Giuliani's eye-rolling declaration after he spewed.
So this isn't, this isn't news. This is opinion. This is an opinion piece
from Huffington Post. So if you think Huffington Post is reporting the news, you are mistaken. They are giving you their opinion on the news, it's just like we are.
Yeah, sure. And it's important.
As credible as Huffington News.
Ooh, equal credibility.
We are just as equally credible as Huffington Post.
I think that's a true and factual statement, sir.
Well, they give their opinion based on what they read, and we're giving our opinion based on what we read.
Just look, it's fine to go to HuffPost, but don't mistake it for news. Their job is not to give you news. Their job is to trick you into clicking on stories so that you can see ads so that you can buy pills for your wiener. That's what they do. I bet if I look on this page, there's pills for wiener somewhere on here. There's an ad for it. I'm sure.
Why are you getting those? Why are you getting those?
No, it's not. It's on incognito mode. It's on incognito mode.
I get D&D ads. I mean, I get Dungeons and Dragons ads. Why are you getting that?
That's 1 point for Deacon. No points for me.
Thank you very much,
motherfucker. You son of a bitch.
That was pretty funny.
Okay.
I would have expected you to tell that joke on me.
Hey, Jesus. All right. Hey, we got this. We got David Hogg. Now, are you familiar with this young man, David Hogg?
Refresh me, because I'm losing a picture in my head of who David Hogg is. Isn't he a bright young man? Actually, let me say this before I get to David Hogg. Let me preface this. David Hogg was in a place that went through a horrific incident. All right.
Oh.
He was at a place that the place went through a horrific incident. So he was in the vicinity of a place that went through a horrific incident. So I do have a little bit of empathy that comes with anyone that is near a horrific incident like that, because of what you go through of going on. Okay. I'm not saying he was involved. I'm not saying he was directly in it, but he was in the vicinity. Now, since he has been in this horrific incident, he's been a fucking little shit prick. All right. And I don't give two fucks about this kid. So what did this little prick do today?
Yeah. So I only know David Hogg from, he is a gun control advocate. So he wants to take all your guns away because as soon as you take all the guns away from everybody, the world will be safe.
Every single person, all of those biker gangs, they will gladly give up every one of their guns.
Definitely be more safe.
Absolutely.
Right? Definitely be more safe.
You know,
kids,
absolutely.
Children, right? Absolutely, totally more safe. So I know that he's a gun control advocate, even though personally I disagree. And it's not just because I like to shoot guns, because that is fun. But also, I have daughters and my wife in the house, and if somebody comes to my house, they're not going to leave. They're going to leave. They'll leave. They might be leaking.
Let me tell you what somebody told me one time. Somebody told me one time. If you break into a house, all right, you're breaking into a house, there is a very distinct sound that nothing in the world sounds like it. And that is the cocking of a shotgun.
Yeah.
There is nothing else in the world that sounds like that. So if you are breaking in a house and you hear, your ass is toast.
Well,
all I'm saying.
And I really don't look forward to that. I want it to never happen. But if somebody comes here, I have every intention of defending my wife and kids. You know how hard that is to do with a knife or, I don't know, a baseball bat? It's a lot harder.
Let's ask our friends in England.
Yeah.
We have any viewers in England?
Do you remember did we even watch it on the show? Because we might not have. There was a guy, I think it was in France or something, like an Islamic, jihadist dude or something. I don't know, somebody. And he had a knife and he went to the park and he just started stabbing women and kids. I don't think we covered it on the show. This was probably 2 months ago now. Did you see that? I don't know if he straight up was just like going around stabbing people and attacking women and kids. And the women tried to grab their kids and leave. And the men that were there, they couldn't do anything because they're not armed. So there's a guy with a shopping bag trying to slow this guy down. Anyway.
Instead, they make fun of us because Tex pulls out his freaking pistol he's keeping in his pocket that you never even knew was there.
Yeah.
And he stops the whole incident.
Yeah. In fact, I saw, anyway, David Hogg. We'll go back to David Hogg. Give him his attention. David Hogg, gun control advocate and failed pillow manufacturer. David Hogg says that we're not just voting, we're also running. David Hogg is launching Young Candidate Political Action Committee. For every year of Trump's presidency, I think there's a new chapter of a social movement that was born. Whether it was the Women's March, March for Our Lives, or the environmental movement, or the movement for Black Lives. Okay. Now, as the organizers had cut their teeth on these movements and become eligible to run for office, Hogg wants to support their campaigns. He is launching Leaders We Deserve, a hybrid political action committee backing candidates under 35 years old running for federal office and under 30 years old running for state office. We're trying to pick them and say, we would like to help them run for office. We'll supply you with the resources that you need and help basically coach you and hold your hand to get there, which is the kind of the gap that's in the space right now, at least for young people at the state legislative level. Absolutely. We definitely need young people who cannot even get their own campaign off the ground. Those need to be the leaders that we put into office. I think they could make the best decisions, They could get the best strategies going forward, even though they're yeah. Okay. David Hogg is starting a political action committee to help young people get to into state office, even though they can't find their own asshole with a flashlight and rubber glove.
You're exactly right.
So that's what we need.
We were talking about the
David Hogg once again making whatever.
David Hogg wants to try to he's using that experience in his life as a political jumping off point, and he's trying to get into politics so bad because at the time he was a mouthpiece. So let me explain something to you real quick, and I've mentioned this before. Okay. Right before what was that school in Florida? Stony Marjorie Stonebrook or something like that? That David
I don't
Hogg
know which one you mean. I don't know which one you mean.
Hogg,
I don't know his personal history. Not
David
not
Hogg
really.
was a part of that school shooting down in Florida.
Yeah, he was down there.
Yeah,
look, there's a lot of
at that school. Stoneman Douglas High School. So he was a student at Stoneman Douglas High School. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High.
Okay. So he was present at
right. Okay, so and now he goes to Harvard.
He was present at a school shooting and it's traumatized him.
So no. Let me. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Go on.
Okay, my computer is all completely froze up. Okay,
I can hear you.
So what people don't understand is that before this happened was the school shooting at my old high school here in my county, at Marshall County High School, into our commons area, and started shooting and killed 2 high school students, including my first cousin's son that was killed. Right. My little first cousin once removed. So everyone here at the time was getting inundated with news stations, and the news, my buddy still has one of these emails. The news stations were asking these children to, we will put you on the news. It will basically saying we will make you famous without coming out and saying it will make you famous. But they were trying to use that to interview these kids. And some of our kids went on the news and were interviewed. And the news people really quickly realized that they are in a very conservative area, and none of these damn kids were going against gun control and anything along that narrative. No, I heard that from 3 or 4 parents that were like, they wanted my kid to talk about gun control, and my kid's a damn deer hunter. My kid goes dove hunting every year. My kid goes squirrel hunting every year, because we educate our kids in gun safety and hunter responsibility down here. Okay. So as soon as the Stoneman Douglas happened, which was a week after ours happened, they went down there. They found David Hogg. David Hogg was like, I hate guns and they should all be banned.
Yeah.
They used him. The media used him. They pushed him up. People used him and raped him, basically. And now I feel sorry for him, because he thinks he's going to be something one day using this, and he probably has enough money. He's probably got more money than me.
He's really parlayed that event
but what is he going to do with his life?
I mean,
fight a losing cause.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, and the thing is, he's not unsuccessful in garnering attention and followers. So, there's definitely places and environments where, especially like urban environments, where his message may get through because people, they really don't know any better, or they don't understand that the rights you're giving up to possibly offset some risk, you're gonna get the risk back, and you won't have your rights. You won't have the ability to defend yourself.
I don't think they understand that.
And
I don't think they understand that it's like you have a huge 4-inch gash on your arm, and you put a little Band-Aid on it. In 5 days, when you take off that Band-Aid, that freaking gash is still going to be there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
getting all choked up.
I know. Hey, I put this story in. I don't even think you saw it. I want to kind of look at this because this has a twist, and I think you're going to be like, well, hold on.
Check out the twist.
Yeah. Do you know who the Proud Boys are? I think I've mentioned the Proud Boys before. I've
tried to keep
a fighting
I don't
club
keep
with
up with them, but I've kept up with what has been going on.
Yeah, they're a drinking club with a patriot problem, is how they described themselves years ago. And
a drinking club with a patriot
drinking
problem.
Club with
That's
a
how
patriot.
they describe themselves.
And they were once led by Enrique Tarrio, and he was the leader during January 6th. He's no longer the leader. He's now being prosecuted by the federal government for leading an insurrection, even though that's I don't believe that's what happened at all. Anyway, these Proud Boys, specifically the Proud Boys that are being brought up on these January 6 charges, held without bond, held without bail, denied certain rights and that they deserve even while in custody. Certainly before trial, this Proud Boys are really being the figureheads of the left as they sell January 6th as an insurrection, right? And they need to do that because that's the only way they can stop Trump, is to say it was an insurrection, and then Trump led the insurrection, and therefore 14th Amendment, which really shouldn't apply. Proud Boy on house arrest prior to January 6th sentencing. A man was received, a Proud Boy who's on house arrest prior to January 6th sentencing. So he's already been tried or pled guilty, I guess, but he hasn't been sentenced yet. That Proud Boy now flees before he is sentencing. So he is on the lam. He's on the run. But here's the deal. So right off the bat, before I even go any further, I'm going to say, okay, guy's been convicted or pled guilty, but he hasn't been sentenced yet, and now he's on the run. Doesn't look good for him, right? It looks like he's bad guy, bad decision. Here's a twist. This man was receiving treatment for cancer, but then when the January 6th stuff happened, he was detained for a long time. Some of these guys have been detained for like 2 years. He was denied medical access and denied treatment for cancer while he was in custody prior to his his arraignment. His cancer went from stage 1 to stage 3, and he was not allowed to get treatment for cancer while he was in custody. So now they're looking at him and they're like, we're about to sentence you. And this guy's looking at it like, you guys put me back in jail. You won't give me medical care. I'm going to fucking die. So is this man wrong?
No.
To flee?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, he's not.
I don't think so. Christopher Worrell, 52, was a member of the Proud Boys who'd been on a house arrest since his release in 2021. His sentencing is scheduled for 4 days ago, but he has fled and disappeared. The government's saying, well, look, the longer you're gone, when you come back and do sentencing, we can just edge up those we have mandatory minimums, but we can just ask for more and more and more. Worrell was charged with 19 offenses, including entering and remaining in restricted grounds and a bunch of other bullshit. He was found guilty of spraying pepper spray gel on Capitol police officers. I don't defend violence or assault, anything like that. Definitely not. Shouldn't have done that, dude. Yeah. Prosecutors wanted the court to give him 14 years in prison, followed by 3 years of probation, $2,000 in restitution, and fines of $181,000. The sentencing has been canceled. While in custody, Worrell said he was denied access to medication to treat cancer and was deprived of the ability to see an oncologist. While he was in federal custody, his cancer progressed from stage 1 to stage 3. A judge ordered his release after U.S. Marshals reported unacceptable jail conditions that, quote, do not meet the minimum standards of confinement. I think this dude, I mean, I don't know. I think that, I think there needs to be some intercession on this guy's behalf. And while he waits, I kind of think like, yeah, do not turn yourself in until you can get some like agreement that like you're allowed to have medical care.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't be forced to die of cancer untreated for,
but they don't care about him. They want him to die. They want, he was a revolutionary, insurrectionist. They want him to die.
He's the face of the enemy.
That's the difference between
Isn't that fucked up?
They want you to die. I don't want them to kill you. I just want them to shut the fuck up and leave me alone. I don't I don't have a problem with anybody. You want to go diddle your own race or sex or whatever, go do it. I don't care. Don't throw it in my face all the fucking time.
Not telling
don't try to change my kids and tell me I got to raise my kids a certain way. That's all I want. I want you to be happy. If you want to do that, I'm not a judge. Okay?
Maybe
when you die, maybe you be judged, maybe you won't. Who knows?
I think you will, but that's your problem. Hey, all I'm asking for is some sort of check on votes, check on votes. That's most of what these people wanted. They were just like, hey, we think there's some hinky stuff here. How come there's no means whatsoever for us to validate votes? It's just whatever you said it was. And if you ask, you go to jail.
No shit. That doesn't look, that's not like a 17-foot red flag that comes up and is blowing in the freaking hurricane breeze. Jesus.
Yeah. All right. That's really all the political stuff. I was swinging by the Real Clear Politics. I personally don't hold a whole lot of credibility in any of these polls, but I was just swinging by looking at the Republican nomination. Joe Biden, Trump's currently polling around 55% looking nomination. And DeSantis going is kind of on a downward trail. It's kind of like straight down. So his support has declined from 30% before he declared himself a nominee. It's now down at 14% and declining. And, Ramaswamy's up a little bit. Pence is a piece of shit. Haley, garbage. There's a bunch of trash people running for Republicans. I swear, if they convict Trump and they try to... Yeah, Ramaswamy's all right. I just don't think he can get that nomination. But you know what? I think he would be a great vice president. And, a young guy to be in there to take up a bunch of this other stuff. I think he'd be a great running mate for Trump.
Yep.
But if the Democrats succeed in their little attempt here to lock up Trump and prevent him from even being on the ballots in some of these places, as a lifelong Republican, I'll just vote Libertarian. I'm not supporting you assholes. You guys suck. All right. That's all I had to say about that.
I got something for you, JJ. I've got something that you've probably never seen before.
Never seen. Right?
And maybe our viewers out there, I've got something that you've probably never seen before. This is a real picture. It's not AI generated. It's not photoshopped. This is a real picture of something you've probably never seen. I bet you've never seen a spotless giraffe.
Wow.
Look at that.
I saw you put that in the show notes and I was like, oh, wow. And then I was like, wait, isn't that thing entirely spot? That's one spot.
That's what my daughter said last night. She said that's one big spot. And I was like, that's a good point. That's exactly what she said.
Yeah. Okay.
This rare giraffe does not have any spots. The spotless giraffe was born at Bright's Zoo in Limestone, Tennessee on July 31st. And the zoo says experts believe she is the only solid colored reticular giraffe on the planet.
Oh.
They don't know, of course, in the wild, but
okay.
The zoo announced a naming contest for the baby giraffes, which visitors can now see at the zoo.
Where is this? Where is this zoo at?
I don't know actually where Limestone, Tennessee is. It's got to be over in the eastern portion of Tennessee. Let me see here real quick.
This reminds me of a story.
It's way over in the eastern portion of Tennessee, close to it's close to North Carolina, and close to Johnson City. Oh yeah, that's a long freaking way away from me. That's over in the very far end of Tennessee, getting close to North Carolina and whatnot.
This reminds me of a story from a couple years ago. It was a zoo in Europe somewhere. Let's say Sweden or something like that, one of those Norwegian countries. And they had too many giraffes. And when you have too many giraffes, you have to winnow the population so that in the zoo, so that you could keep the more diverse genetic stock going. So they had this one giraffe that was like a little older and wasn't going to reproduce anymore, and it was basically just a drain on resources. And I was like, oh well, what are they going to do with an old giraffe? What do you do with an old giraffe? You don't just like let him out in the field or whatever. I just didn't know. So it turns out what they do with an old giraffe is they kill the giraffe and then they chop it up and feed it to lions, and they let kids watch the entire process.
There's not some organization that will. Oh my God!
No. They invite kids to watch, and then they kill the giraffe, chop it up, and they feed the whole thing to lions. In Europe, anyway. So, that little spotted giraffe needs to be like, "Hey, I'm the only one."
Turning my heartfelt, loving puppy dog story into a horrific mental image for all of you while you're eating breakfast. Once again. The last recorded spotless giraffe was in 1972 in Tokyo. The reticulated giraffes are a species of giraffes known for their brown and orange spots. They're native to Africa, and they were listed as endangered in 2018. The zoo is hoping the headline-making giraffe will bring attention to the challenges of the species in the wild. Isn't that nice? I think that's really cool. Monday, they said they had narrowed down the naming contest to 4 choices. Kipiki, which means unique. Frilyali, which means unusual or extraordinary. Shakiri, which means she is most beautiful. And Jamela, which means one of great beauty. Ooh, I like that, Jamela.
What are these languages?
I'm sure it's African. Some language in Africa.
because the giraffes are from Africa?
In
I was like, is this some weird Tennessee language?
No,
like
it'd be Becky Joe, Bobby Joe, Cindy Joe, and
I'm gonna name that their elephant's name is Brown. You see how it's brown?
I told that joke to a friend of mine a long time ago, and I was like, a girl's Southern when her middle name's Joe, and she looked at me and I went, oh my God, your middle name's Joe.
Yes.
I had forgotten her middle name was Joe. All right, so there you go. That's a cool story. Rare, spotless giraffe.
Hey, you put this story in the news for me, and I appreciate it because I've been living it.
Yeah. So
Houston, we got a problem.
So wait a minute. JJ, if you don't know, wait a minute. Before I tell this joke, before I make this joke.
All right.
I have to preface this for everybody out there. JJ lives close to Houston. All right. Mm-hmm. Hot enough for you?
Oh, yep. Yep. It's a hot one out there.
So it was 178 in Houston yesterday.
I went to make breakfast this morning. I just went on my back porch with a skillet. I just put it on the ground, cracked some eggs.
Seriously, what was it, like 100 and what was the air temperature?
It's been 105 every day, dude. I don't know how you check backwards, but like every day I get in my car and I look down and it's like 105, 107, 110. And I'm like, ooh, it's hot. My car AC is doing this weird thing. I don't know what it is. I'm not a car guy, despite the fact that we talk about trannies on the show all the time. I don't know that much about them. But my AC in my car, it'll blow cold, and then sometimes it'll just be like the cold will give out, and it's not the pressure of the R134 or whatever, because it's got pressure. It's pressurized. It's loaded up.
No,
so something else is causing my
when you're we'll talk after the show, because Ashley's was doing the same thing and we fixed it, and it only cost like $120 for the part, and it was very easy to get to on her car, so you could do it yourself, and you don't have to pay $500 labor fee, because a lot of people are like, I don't know about a car. Well, that's because you've never been under a car. It's really simple if you just look, and if you don't know, ask a question or look on YouTube, because we were like, okay, we need a new whatever, a cold air, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so we looked and we're like, okay, well, how's it on her car? Oh, we're going to have to jack it up and take this off. Okay. And then that's just some bolts. Okay. That looks easy. Oh, okay. We've got to get new gaskets to put around when we put it back on. Okay. That's easy. We got to lube it up before we put it on and tighten it up with okay, that's easy. Oh, I don't have that tool. I don't want to go buy that tool. Let me go to fucking AutoZone or O'Reilly's or somewhere and rent the tool, because they do that. It's very easy to fix your car. You don't have to pay the labor fees.
Well, I had an electrical issue, and I had to take it into the Mazda shop a couple weeks ago. They have to do electrical. I'm not messing with electrical.
Yeah. Now there's certain things that you have to take it in for, right?
But the AC just going, it's like cold, and then it's like, I'm tired, and it just doesn't blow.
The AC, if it's so damn hot out there, the AC is going to do that. I mean, your air conditioner's not going to blow.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I'm like
$130,000 brand new, whatever.
110 degrees outside. The AC is like, come on, dude, I'm working as hard as I can.
Ashley was saying that about her car not too long ago, and it was really, really hot here. And she was like, sometimes it's hot. It blows colder than it does, sometimes it blows colder. And I'm like, well, it's because your car is like 20 years old and it's freaking, it's hot as hell outside.
All right. So here's the story. Houston shatters 114-year record as tropical cyclone forms in the Gulf. So we got a little hurricane-y type thing happening out there. It's getting ready. And meanwhile, temperatures at George Bush Intercontinental Airport, which is, I believe that's the one south of Houston, hit unprecedented levels. Let's see. George Bush Intercontinental Airport recorded a daily recorded average of 108 degrees. That breaks a 114-year-old record and comes within 1 degree of the all-time record at the big airport. And I don't know how many days in a row, but they were talking about some days in a row. They were like about 5 days ago. They were like, so we've gone through 15 days of over 100 degrees weather, and then it broke for like one day. We had like 99 or whatever, and then I think it went back up. So we had like a cold front come down. It just cooled it off a little. Let's see. Yeah, 108. So it's been pretty hot.
It's supposed to get our heat index on Wednesday and Thursday is supposed to be 115, and Thursday it's supposed to be 117 outside on Thursday. So our temperature is only about 96, 97. So we're not as hot, but the humidity is a lot more here in Kentucky than it is in Tejas. Excuse me. My throat's crazy. I had another story I wanted to share with you, JJ. The world's fastest woman now has a new title, a new record. A person, the Sha'Carri Richardson is the world's fastest woman. She wins the 100 whatever title. 2023 Track and Field World Championships Monday is officially the fastest woman in the world. Richardson ran a 10.65 to win her first ever world title in women's 100 meters. So do you want to see the fastest woman in the world? Can you still see this? No, you can't.
I want to see.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah. I can see. Oh no, I think you flipped over to another page.
X page. Hang on. Let me pause it.
Hit the little button at the top. Share this page instead. The top, not the top of my screen. The top of the video.
Yeah, get it now. You got it?
I think so. Yeah. Yep, I said yes.
Women's 100.
Here we go. Fast.
Get it delay.
The Jamaicans get out well. It's Sharika Jackson.
Boy, that girl can move.
Talu. Here comes Sha'Carri Richardson. Sha'Carri's done it.
Which one is she? Is she this one down here?
I think she's the yellow hat. Yeah, yellow hat.
Sharika Jackson.
No, right there she is.
Here comes Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh, not the yellow hat.
I don't think that's her. I think she's the one down here on the bottom. Not her, but this one right here in the red.
Sharika Jackson.
Right here.
Talu. Here comes Sha'Carri
Yeah.
Richardson.
Yeah. Fast.
That's
all right.
Super cool.
Oh boy. You know what?
I cannot run that fast.
You reminded me of another story. Not only do we have the world's fastest woman, we also know who is at least Canada. I think it's in Canada. Strongest woman. A weightlifting powerlifter record was set very recently. I'm gonna have to reload this page because New York Post likes these ads. Let's see.
Penis enlargement ads. Sorry,
yep.
I was making a joke.
Yep. Let's see. Do we have a video of the? I don't have a video of the lift, but I do have some reactions. So the recently competitive female powerlifter to a record-breaking win from who lifted 2 kilograms more than the second place winner. I don't even know if you can fathom that, dude. The second place winner, the second place person,
that's 440 pounds,
lifted 200 kilograms more.
440
pounds more than the second place winner.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's like 4 people. April Hutchison Andres, the 40-year-old trans woman setting all-time records at the Canadian powerlifting in 2023 Western Canadian Championship Sunday. So this, yeah.
So this is a man.
Trans woman. Yes, the best female
this is
powerlifter
a man that
in
went
Canada.
To a woman.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Once again, the best women. Merman. Anyway, 440 pounds extra, and it wasn't a joke.
I don't care.
Like we've seen this before. We've been seeing this before in Australia, where like a dude just comes in with a beard. You'd rather read the story about the Flash? Yeah, I just have a screenshot of it. I'm not going to show this Canadian powerlifter. Fuck that dude.
Thank you.
The Flash, come and gone. You might have missed it. The Flash, the movie, right? We were looking forward to it for a year, and I missed it. Apparently, it cost $300 million to make The Flash. The only more expensive film movies in history, superhero movies, were the Avengers movies. So aside from the Avengers movies, this is the most expensive superhero movie in history. It cost $300 million to make, and it grossed $286 million worldwide. So that's the domestic box office and the international box office. So the Flash has had a net global loss of $32 million, and that's not including marketing. And it's not including the fact that half of the domestic take, which was only $100 million, half of the domestic take goes to theaters. So Warner Brothers made a $300 million movie that made $100 million in the United States, 50 million of which they had to give to the theaters. So it made $50 million in the US and it made 160 international. So it might be the biggest flop of all time. Maybe. Pretty fun.
That's pretty funny. I got one more. I've got a hidden story for you.
Okay.
When you watch television, do you use subtitles?
Yes.
Okay. But you and I both are Gen Xers. Okay.
Yes.
We were born in the 70s. We grew up in the 80s and early 90s. We're Gen Xers. Okay. We're right on the tail end of Gen Xers.
I'm at the very end of Gen X.
Yeah. We're at the very end of being Gen Xers. So millennials are after us, and then you've got the Gen Z crowd. Right. So they asked millennials and Gen Z, do you use subtitles? Gen Z people are using subtitles now. These are 13 to 39-year-olds. They're saying this goes through the
13
Gen Z.
to 39.
Gen Z and millennials kind of mix together a lot. Ashley has found, because she's in the millennials, she's on the front side of the millennials. Sometimes she's Gen X, sometimes millennial. So they're they're just asking because my kids always poked fun at me for always having subtitles on. And I always told them, I can't hear when they start talking in movies really, really low and whatnot. Yeah. I can't hear it. My ears are my listening is going.
Or sometimes they mumble, or sometimes there's sound in the background.
I have watched movies now that I'm older that I have seen 1,000 times throughout my life with subtitles. And I literally have been like, I never knew they said that there. That makes more sense now that they did this later in the film, because I never knew they said that right there, because I could never understand them, especially if I like watching British stuff, and I've got to have the subtitles on for British stuff. I got to read that because I can't understand half what some of those people are saying sometimes. So they're just finding out that the younger people are watching with subtitles now. And that seems to be the norm, is watching TV with subtitles. Excuse me.
Is that indicative of something?
Age? What do you
think so? I don't know.
I mean, the only problem that I have with the TV now is that this really doesn't have anything to do with subtitles, but I guess no, not really. But is the volume that it goes, and that was always a problem with me if you're watching movies, because they might go from talking like this right here, really, really long, and you're like,
oh my God. Commercial compression.
That's what I was fixing to say. The commercials as well, when you're watching, it goes from here to here. The commercial volume. I've got the remote sitting there that I mute the commercials when they come on, because Ashley just looks at me because it's so loud. So let me propose this as someone that works in marketing, and my job is to make you and your business a successful commercial that people will watch. What I want is for someone to pay attention to what I'm saying in your commercial, so that they will go to your business and spend money and give you money. That's the whole goal, right? So if I'm muting the commercials when they come on because the television streaming company has them so loud, as a business, why do you want to advertise with that streaming company when I'm not listening to the company?
Right.
Why? It makes no sense.
I don't know.
Why to have commercials that loud, no one is paying attention to them. It is a deterrent.
I mean, I guess that whatever the cast off cost of, like, you lose 20% of people for being so loud, but maybe you end up getting 30% of people that are not paying attention.
That is a number that came out in 1987.
Yeah. I don't know.
I used to say that crap. The GMs.
Hey, I gotta scoot to a meeting.
Okay, cool.
Deke.
All right.
Yeah, so we got to do jokes. I'm just gonna remind you and everybody else that Ahsoka is tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern.
No,
So
I'm not watching any of that crap until it all comes out.
Okay. Well,
I want it all to come out so I can watch it at the same time.
Give me a reminder. There's a lot of Rebels stuff in there. I never watched Rebels, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's good.
And
no, you'd like it. Yeah.
Deke.
Yeah.
Why is Corn such a good listener?
Really? Do you want me to or do you want to just tell another joke?
Go ahead. I'm ready.
Because
Go ahead.
It has lots of ears.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That's great. Thanks.
So I don't think you know this about me, but one of my greatest achievements is that I was the time that I disproved one of the late Professor Stephen Hawking's theories. Okay.
Oh.
So back in 97, I went to a lecture that he was giving in town about space being infinite.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere to park.
Oh, the irony, the deep irony. Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow morning. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe and leave a comment on the video. Please spend 1 minute of your day telling me how I can do this job better, because I will read it and I will give it a thumbs up, and I appreciate it. And Deacon will make fun of you, but that's okay. You don't care. You don't care what he says. And let's see what else we got. We got if you haven't already, you Rumble. It's at the bottom. Look right there. Rumble.com/JJW. When we get canceled next on YouTube, that's where you can find us. We'll see you later. Bye, everybody.
I'm throwing paper.